Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Chef Preston Clark, and this is New York from scratch. I definitely started going to work with my father when I was very young. You know, he was the opening chef at the Odeon, so I remember going to the Odeon. I remember Cafe Luxembourg opened up. But aside from my father, I would say Michael Lamonaco. Right when my father passed away, a couple months later, I was working at Windows on the World on the top of the World Trade Center, and he had a chef named Michael Amarati. Very important to me. He definitely gave me real good eye opener of what to really expect, you know, going into the industry. And then Marcus Amuson. I definitely worked with Marcus for many years. I actually did my externship at Aquabee with Marcus. The level of persistence, being able to just get up every day and go and go and go. They didn't teach so much that in culinary school. You know, a lot of guys that drop out. There was a lot of people that didn't make it to class. I think there was a lot of people that weren't as serious as I was and some of my peers were about being in culinary school and like learning the craft. That persistence is definitely something that came from my father. And you know, in setting a precedent, what you do now sets the precedent for what you do later. There were a lot of hard parts, huh? The one that comes to mind is when I first started at Jean Georges. I was at Jean Georges for about 7 years. When I first started, it was a real jump from what I had been doing. It required a tremendous level of commitment, and I think, you know, I was kind of ready for it, but also shocked at the same time. Like we spoke about earlier, that persistence, you know, that definitely came from my father. That persistence definitely got me through. The city helped me handle it because I had a place to stay. I mean, I had to ride the train 2 hours. I had a room to stay in Queens that was very inexpensive, maybe $400. I could afford it. City never stuff. So anything anytime I needed something, if I was hungry, I could go to my local bodega. I knew me. You knew what I was doing. You knew I was working. Sometimes you'd give me a sandwich for free. We didn't have too much money. we made nothing. That was the price you paid. That was the sacrifice. Kind of paying your dues. It was very important. That sacrifice just lends itself to the seriousness and the commitment that's required to be a chef in New York City. Definitely a lesson that I've learned. If you take care of people, people will definitely take care of you. And New York City will take care of you too. Right? You could also get eaten up in the city though, so you have to be careful. I worked at these restaurants, Resto and the Cannibal. There's two of them there. At that time, nose to tail dining was all the rage. You know, I was doing these feasts. We would get whole animals in, and we were cooking nose to tail, doing all different kinds of preparations. And I had this great dish. It was a beef tartare dish. It was beef tartare, but at that time I was working a lot with offals, so it was beef heart tartare. We actually used a heart. I got a lot of press, a lot of questions, a lot of interviews about that. About, you know, how do you feel using offals? And it's not really part of the American diet. Realized, wow, people are listening to what I have to say. As a young budding chef, my voice matters. So I would say that would probably be the one moment. New York is whole. New York is amazing. New York is great. New York is grit. New York is food.